Now that Larry Muliete is in custody, many are asking what comes next.
And joining us now is Attorney Jan Ronas to discuss this case. Good morning to you,
morning.
and thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
You know, investigators say they have clear evidence, and we wanted to talk to you about that. No body, no weapon. What type of evidence are we looking at?
Well, it looks like it's purely a circumstantial evidence case. I mean, it's not unheard of for a no-body homicide charge to be lodged against somebody. In fact, I think the first in the state of California was a San Diego case about 30 or 40 years ago, prosecuted locally. So, I mean, it looks like it's a circumstantial case, evidence case. It took a long time to get to this point. It doesn't sound like, and we don't know all the evidence for or against him, but it doesn't sound like the strongest case in the world. I think the prosecutors, have a difficult, effort here, but we don't know all the evidence. I mean, oftentimes the district attorneys don't reveal everything at the early stages, such as not to prejudice the case either way. So we just have to wait and see, like we should in every case.
Is it possible that they knew this was going to be purely circumstantial, which is why it took so long to get to this point? Because maybe early on they knew that they weren't going to have a body, and they had to dot their I's, cross their T's, and get everything perfectly right. 9 long months before they could charge.
Well, it wasn't just the absence of the body. I mean, in the early stages, I've stayed on top of this case quite thoroughly.
Yeah.
They had absolutely nothing, at least that was publicly disclosed, so it made it very tough. I mean, they issued scores and scores of search warrants. They did a variety of searches. They searched his car, his house. They did background checks. So, at this point, it sounds like a thin case, and it sounds like it's an entirely circumstantial case. There's no eyewitnesses or things of that nature.
We heard our district attorney, and Christina and I were talking about this all morning long, when she mentioned that Larry was hired this so-called spellcaster. I think a lot of us went, wait, what? Well, what is that? And they kind of explained it a little bit, but is it just like what it sounds?
Well, that was the first time I heard of it. But
Really?
Listen, people do all kinds of searches, and people have all kinds of crazy ideas running through their head when they're going through a separation or something of that nature. It doesn't always amount to homicide or murder, and it doesn't necessarily mean it did in this case. So that's kind of a stretch, and I would think that they may have more evidence than just his searches.
Sure.
But again, these digital records come up to bite people in the neck quite often in the criminal justice system today.
Wow.
And can you just go a little further? I know you were talking about circumstantial evidence. Obviously, she has been missing for 9 months now.
Right.
So clearly, investigators have been looking through everything. Obviously, they've talked to dozens and dozens of people, not eyewitnesses, but just witnesses in general. Can you talk about that process? Because he was a person of interest, finally being arrested 9 months after. It's taken a while.
Right. So maybe they've recently uncovered something that they didn't know of earlier. Generally in these kinds of cases, oftentimes there are eyewitnesses. There are other strong circumstantial evidence, such as somebody had maybe written a letter threatening to kill somebody or something of that nature. As far as I know, nothing like that exists in this case. It's just the circumstances are suspicious. She's been missing. They were having marital problems. She'd gone to see a lawyer. He's done all these internet searches. I don't know what that adds up to, but it certainly added up, apparently enough to get him charged. But we have to wait and see what the evidence is. He's presumed innocent, and it'd be an interesting case to watch.
Yes, indeed. He's being held without bail. Should
Right.
we read anything into that? As far
No,
as
in California, the law allows people to be held without bail if, in fact, they present a danger to the community. So that's very common.
And then how long do these types of cases last? I just automatically think, this has been a high-profile local case, at least. Finding a jury that's unbiased might be a little difficult.
Right, that'll be the challenge. And I would suggest that people might Google Dr. Sam Shepard, who was charged in Cleveland decades ago, which formed the basis for the television series The Fugitive. In the newspapers, we had headlines such as "Bring them in," things of that nature. And so prejudicial pre-trial publicity can really skew a case against a defendant and sometimes result in a need for a change of venue, say to another county in California.
Yeah, I was going to say the case might get moved out of San Diego County, sometimes even further away than that. Let's talk about, again, going back to how you convict with circumstantial evidence alone. Are most of those cases pretty solid, the ones that you know of, where you don't have a body and it's just this kind of circumstantial evidence? Is it difficult? How much more difficult is a case like that than when you do have a body?
Obviously, if they'd found the body and they found his DNA at a crime scene or something of that nature, it would have made the case much stronger. But most cases are proven with the presentation of circumstantial evidence. It's rare that you have, convincing direct evidence in these kinds of cases. So, it depends upon what the circumstances.
I mean, you mentioned all the digital evidence. He had the wherewithal to leave the phone at home, but then we were talking about the fact that, well, he put in the navigation in the car to get back home, and then can you pinpoint where it was before he navigated? It's just there's so much to talk about when you talk about those 2.5 hours, right? And then the technology and the GPS in the vehicle itself.
Sure. Well, those are the kinds of circumstances that, if introduced, may point to guilt. On the other hand, there may be circumstances pointing to innocence. Again, we don't know all the facts. It's interesting. It's one that's riveted the community for the last 10 months. And I'm sure people will stay tuned to see what the outcome is of this.
No, we understand that he's innocent until proven guilty.
Of course,
we understand
absolutely.
this. But can a conviction come down, a sentence come down without a body?
Yes. I mean, listen, this isn't the first no-body homicide case to occur in this country, certainly not in this county or the state. And so that isn't uncommon, but maybe 3 months from now, much as that Fallbrook case, they wait 3 years, maybe a body will be uncovered, and it'll strengthen the case against him. But at this point, it's not uncommon to try this case without a body, and they'll go forward without it if that's what the final result is.
Not to throw this at you, but everybody's so concerned about the children. The children have been kept away from Maya's family for this whole time. Larry's parents have been in the house helping with it. What happens to the kids now? You're talking about 4 years old, 9 years old, 11 years old.
It's just a tragedy. I mean, they'll likely be, depending on what happens to him, I mean, if he's acquitted or the charges are dismissed, I mean, he has a right to reclaim these children, but it's for a different day, and they could theoretically
Do we know who they're with now?
I understand they're with relatives, all I know, but it's assuming he gets convicted, which is a tough assumption at this point. The children will be adopted out to a close family member, and hopefully they'll be able to go through life and not be destroyed by this kind of event.
Right.
Just unreal. I mean, you said it all. We're all riveted by the story because there's just so many different aspects of it that are just unbelievable. And at the center of it all, a mother missing still, presumed killed. And
it's a tragedy across all fronts.
Absolutely.
Goodness gracious. Jan Ronis, we thank you for coming in and offering your expertise.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.